Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Anut Pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our Srimad Bhagavatam study session today. We're continuing from Canto 1, Chapter 5, text number 28. We'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtake Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Devadeva Jagatpate Nanyam Tvadavayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadhaya Vishnupreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeeshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishamanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Taralaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Munde Shri Gurun Dinadarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mishwaram Hari Om Tatsat. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Anut Pranams. Thank you for joining in and welcome all of you to the Srimad Bhagavatam study session. This morning we are in Canto 1, chapter number 5, text number 28. So we were reading on the previous verse the last Tuesday when we were when we ended with 1.5.27. We were talking about the pastime of how Narada the boy, like before he became the transcendental spaceman, Narada Muni, the Narada the boy, how he was born to a Shudrani who did not even know the name of his father. Such a person also got the opportunity to serve the Bhakti Vedantas for 4 months of Chaturmasya, and he also got the opportunity to serve them, to also receive the remnants of their of the prasadam that they had, right? And we're talking about this beautiful verse, Bhaktapada Duliyara, Bhaktapada Jala, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha, in Mahabhala. These three are very, very powerful in enabling us to grow in devotional service, right? So one of that is the remnants of getting remnants from our, the remnants of the prasadam from our gurus. That is very, very potent in actually increasing the desire in our heart to perform devotional service. And the same potency is also developed in the heart when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, when we do all of the processes. Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, Pada, Sevana, Dasya Re, Pujana, Sakijana, Atmani, Vedana. So these 9 processes are given by Prahlad Maharaj, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Archanam, Pada, Sevanam, Archan, Hari. Vandanam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. What did I repeat? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. So these 9 processes, right from hearing, the most important thing that's given is for hearing Krishna Katha, Shrinvatam, Swakatha, Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridayantasto, Bhadrani, Vidunoti, Suritsadam, Shrinvatam, Swakatam, Krishna. So that is the importance that is given to hearing about the glories of the Lord from a devotee of the Lord who's coming in a bona fide Guru Parampara. When we do that, then what happens? Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Nashtaprayeshu. So all the Abhadras, Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu, all the Abhadras of lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion will be destroyed. And Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki, and our bhakti that is growing in our heart, that will increase when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention, like that. All right, so let me share my screen. Devotees who would like to read can raise your hands. We are going to continue from 1.5.28. 1.5.28, yes. Itam sharat pravishkavruto harer vishrinvato me anushavam yasho amalam sankirtyanam munibir mahatmabir bhakti pravrittatma rajastamopaha. Okay, Deval Mataji, yeah, Deval Mataji and then Sindhu Mataji. Others who want to read can raise your hands. Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Synonyms.
Oh, 1 second. There's a problem with my laptop speaker. Just give me 1 second.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Yes, go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam. Synonyms. Itiham, thus, Sharat, autumn, Pravrishikao, rainy season, Ritu, 2 seasons, Harihi, of the Lord, Vrishanvataha, continuously hearing me, myself, Anusavam, constantly, Yasha Amalam, unadulterated glories, Sankirtayanam, chanted by Munibihi, the great sages, Maha Atmabihi, great souls, Bhaktihi, and devotional service, Pravritta, began to flow, Atma, living being, Rajaha, mode of passion, Tama, mode of ignorance, Upaha, vanishing. Translation and purport of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, during 2 seasons, the rainy season and autumn, I had the opportunity to hear these great soul sages constantly chant the unadulterated glories of the Lord Hari. As the flow of my devotional service began, the coverings of the modes of passion and ignorance vanished. Transcendental loving service for the Supreme Lord is a natural inclination of every living being. The instinct is dormant in everyone, but due to the association of material nature, the modes of passion and ignorance cover this from time immemorial. If by the grace of the Lord and the great souled devotees of the Lord, a living being becomes fortunate enough to associate with the unadulterated devotees of the Lord and gets a chance to hear the unadulterated glories of the Lord, certainly the flow of devotional service takes place like the flow of a river. As the river flows on till she reaches the sea, similarly, pure devotional service flows by the association of pure devotees till it reaches the ultimate goal, namely transcendental love of God. Such a flow of devotional service cannot stop. On the contrary, it increases more and more without limitation. The flow of devotional service is so potent that any onlooker also becomes liberated from the influence of the modes of passion and ignorance. These two qualities of nature are thus removed, and the living being is liberated, being situated in his original position. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Dhanut Pranam. Tada rajastamo bhav kamalobhadhayascha ye chetyairanavritam stitam satve prasidati. Right? This is one of the verses that we memorized in the last one of the couple of weeks. Right? Where we are talking about tada rajastamo bhav kamalobhadhayascha ye. Right? We come out of our tendencies to enjoy in the mode of ignorance and the mode of passion. Tada rajas tamo bhava kama, the desire to enjoy independent of the Lord. When we are in the mode of ignorance and passion, then we have different ways of seeking pleasure, right? Whether it is in watching television, watching cricket match, or watching some TV serials, or eating obnoxious things. So those are the kind of depending on whether we are in the mode of ignorance or in the mode of passion, we have different ways of gratifying our senses. So simply by hearing Bhagavad, what happens? Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayasche. The desire to enjoy being in the modes of passion and ignorance are destroyed. And then cheta means our consciousness will get purified. And tam satve prasidati, and we are established in the mode of sattva. We are established in the mode of goodness, right? When we are established in the mode of goodness, and what happens? We will get inclination for devotional service, right? Because in the mode of goodness, it's characterized by satisfaction and happiness, right? Satisfaction, being satisfied with what we have, that is a Brahminical quality. That is in the mode of goodness, right? And happiness, right? To accept whatever we receive as the mercy of the Lord and be surrendered to the Lord, right? That itself is a state of goodness. And to practice devotional service becomes easy in this mode of goodness, right? What is that verse? Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. Shochati and kankshati, lamentation and hankering. These are the qualities of a person who is in the mode of ignorance and mode of passion. Na shochati na kankshati, then one is situated in the mode of goodness, right? Brahmabhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhakti lavate param. In this situation of where one is not lamenting or when it is not hankering, in this situation, one will be able to start performing devotional service, right? So we can say, I'm situated in the mode of passion, I'm situated in the mode of ignorance. How am I performing devotional service, right? Because we are performing devotional service due to the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. We are still full of lot of desires. We are in the mode of passion. We are in the mode of ignorance. But because we've got the grace of a spiritual master, right? We are practicing devotional service, although we are in the modes of passion, we are in the modes of ignorance. And the sincerity with which we practice devotional service, whether we are in the mode of passion or in the mode of ignorance, we will be able to attain not just Sattva-guna, but we will be able to attain Shuddha Sattva. We will be able to attain the mode of pure goodness, simply by surrendering unto the spiritual master, hearing from a bona fide spiritual master. Hearing this Shravanam is so potent that irrespective of whatever mode we are in, they are simply eager, they are simply hearing with rapt attention the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, then automatically we will be situated in our original position. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta. By hearing, our Chetana, our consciousness will get purified. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. What arises? What arises is what is already there in the heart, but what has become dormant. But what arises in the heart is the is loving devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, reawakening of our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So in this way, what is the simple formula? ABCD square formula given by Prabhupada, out of which, what are the top angas? It goes, there are 64 angas of devotional service, and every anga is potent to take us back home, back to Godhead. And Rupa Goswami talks about the 5 top angas of bhakti. What is that? Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtana, Bhagavata Shravana, Mathura Vasa, Shri Murtaya, Shraddhaya Sevana. Right? Sadhu Sangha, very important. Only in the association of devotees, we're able to remember Krishna. Right? Otherwise, the association we keep is very important. If we are associating with those who regularly watch cricket match, watch TV serials, we'll also be inclined to watch that. Right? Because our consciousness is determined by the average of the 5 people whom we regularly associate with. Right? In one of the previous sessions, somebody was asking, what is the difference between giving association and taking association? Right? So I was just explaining, we can give association to all. We should be very careful whose association we are taking, because our consciousness is determined by the people whose association we take. That's very, very important. So when we hear from one of our devotees, when we hear from our gurus, then automatically our consciousness will get purified, and we will not just come to the Sattva-guna, but the potency is so much that we can directly reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. Right? We will reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. All right, let's move ahead to next verse, 1.5.29. Tasyaivam me anuraktasya parishrittasya hatainashah shraddhadanasya bhalasya dantasya anucharasya cha. Synonyms word to word translation. Sindhu Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams.
Very good. Unmute yourself, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Okay, not able to hear you. Karpavali Mataji, try unmuting.
Yes, Mataji. Audible,
Oh,
Mataji.
1 second. What happened to this?
Audible, Mataji.
Haribol,
Am I audible?
can somebody speak?
Am I audible, Mataji?
Very low. Cannot hear. Is it a problem with mine?
Mataji. Am I audible to other devotees?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. 1 second, yeah. 1 second. Why am I not able to hear? Just 1 second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, Karpavali Mataji, try now. Hello, Haribol. Okay, Sindhu Mataji, can you try? Anyone can try speaking? Haribol. Am I audible? Haribol.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Text 29. Tasyaivam me nuraktasya prashritasya hatainashah Shraddhadanasya bhalasya dantasyanucharasya cha. Synonyms. Tasya his evam tas me mine anuraktasya attached to them. Prashritasya obediently. Hatha freed from. Enashah since. Shraddhadanasya of the faithful. Bhalasya of the boy. Dantasya subjugated. Anucharasya strictly following the instructions. Cha and. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I was very much attached to those sages. I was gentle in behavior, and all my sins were eradicated in their service. In my heart, I had strong faith in them. I had subjugated the senses, and I was strictly following them with body and mind. Purport. These are the necessary qualifications of a prospective candidate who can expect to be elevated to the position of a pure, unadulterated devotee. Such a candidate must always seek the association of pure devotees. One should not be misled by a pseudo devotee. He himself must be plain and gentle to receive the instructions of such a pure devotee. A pure devotee is a completely surrendered soul unto the personality of Godhead. He knows the personality of Godhead as a supreme proprietor and all others as his servitors. And by the association of pure devotees, only one can get rid of all the sins accumulated by mundane association. A neophyte devotee must faithfully serve the pure devotee, and he should be very much obedient and strictly follow the instructions. These are the signs of a devotee who is determined to achieve success even in the existing duration of life. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, am I audible? Okay, Hare Krishna. So I was just thinking in this verse, we are actually discussing the same thing again and again, isn't it? So it's very important when something is reiterated or when something is repeated in the Shastras, then we should understand that it is very important. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gati hiranyatha. Right? So when something is repeated again and again in the scriptures, yeah, then you should understand it is very important, right? Whether it is Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. That means there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way other than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra that can deliver us in this age of Kali, right? So again and again, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Why is it repeated? That means it is bringing our attention, right? One thing is whatever is mentioned, we have to follow as instructions. But when specific instructions are repeated, that means those instructions have greater potency, right? So we're discussing about Bhagavata Shravana Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtaya Shraddhaya Sevana. So what is very important? Sadhu Sangha. And that is what is exactly mentioned in this particular purport by Prabhupada. These are the necessary qualifications of a prospective candidate, right? Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kaha Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoya. Right? Even a momentary association of the pure devotee of the Lord can purify us, provided we take the association in the right way. Right? Prabhupada told in one of his lectures, this mosquito is the nearest to me, is taking my closest association. But is that taking association or is just troubling? Prabhupada is saying this fly or this mosquito is only troubling me. It is closest proximity with me, but it is of no use. Right? So when we take association, right, that is a very pertinent question. When we take association means we hear from them, we follow their instructions, we try to please them, right? That is what is Sadviri Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattva Darshinaha. Krishna tells this process of how it is very important to serve and inquire from a spiritual master and hear with proper rapt attention what the spiritual master says and follow the instructions, right? In this way, when one follows faithfully, serves a pure devotee, inquires, hears from the pure devotee, and whatever instructions is received, one tries to follow, then it is said that in this lifetime itself, one will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. And that is the goal of the human form of life, right? It is not possible in other forms of life, right? To understand the Bhagavad Gita, to read Bhagavad Gita, to apply the instructions of Bhagavad Gita. But somehow or the other, right, we have got this human form of life, which is very rare. We should utilize this, a human form of life. And we also got Krishna consciousness, Brahmande Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jiva. We are all Bhagyavan, we are all so fortunate. Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. Somehow we've got the seed of devotional service. So we should perform chanting of Hare Krishna. We should perform these 5 angas of bhakti. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtana Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtaya Shraddhaya Sevana. serving the devotees, taking the association of devotees, studying Bhagavatam, serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, making our home as a center, keeping Lord Sri Krishna in the center of the home. Everything, all the activities that take place are taking place for the pleasure of Gaur Nitai, for Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya, Laddu Gopal. So in that way, when we conduct our activities, then we are successful in this material world, and it is possible to attain that success in this lifetime itself. We simply need to follow the instructions of our gurus. And what better instruction Prabhupada is giving? This one paragraph, Prabhupada has summarized the entire process, what is required to attain Krishna Prema in this lifetime. Such is the glory of our ISKCON founder Acharya, our eternal Siksha Guru, His Divine Grace, Abhisharanarinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Text number 30. Jnanam guhyatamam yattat sakshat bhagavataaditam anvavochan gamishyantah kripaya deenavatsalaah. Synonyms, whatever translation. Okay, Archana Shri Radha Mataji, go ahead. And next, Karpavali Mataji continue. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Synonyms: Jnanam, knowledge; Guhyatamam, most confidential; yet, what is; Tat, that; Sakshat, directly; Bhagavata Uditam, propounded by Lord Himself; Anvaochan, gave instruction; Gamishyantaha, while departing from; Kripaya, by causeless mercy; Deenavatsalaha, those who are very kind to poor and meek. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. As they were leaving, those Bhaktivedantas who were very kind to poor-hearted souls instructed me in that most confidential subject, which is instructed by the Personality of Godhead Himself. May I continue with purport, Mataji?
Yeah, go ahead.
Purport: pure Vedantist or Bhakti Vedanta instructs followers exactly according to the instructions of Lord Himself. A personality of Godhead, both in Bhagavad Gita and in other scriptures, has definitely instructed men to follow the Lord only. The Lord is the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of everything. The whole manifested creation is existing by His will, and by His will, when the whole show is finished, He will remain in His eternal abode with all His paraphernalia. Before the creation, He was there in the eternal abode, and after annihilation, He will continue to remain. He is not, therefore, one of the created beings. He is transcendental. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that long before the instruction was imparted to Arjuna, the same was instructed to Sun God, and in course of time, the same instruction being wrongly handled and being broken was again instructed to Arjuna because he was his perfect devotee and friend. Therefore, the instruction of Lord can be understood by the devotees only and no one else. The impersonalist who... Mataji, can you please scroll down? The impersonalist who has no idea of transcendental form of Lord cannot understand this most confidential message of the Lord. The expression most confidential is significant here because knowledge of devotional service is far above knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Jnanam means ordinary knowledge or any branch of knowledge. This knowledge develops up to the knowledge of impersonal Brahman. Above this, when it is partially mixed with the devotion, such knowledge develops to knowledge of Paramatma or all-pervading Godhead. This is most confidential, but when such knowledge is turned into pure devotional service and the confidential part of transcendental knowledge is attained, it is called the most confidential knowledge. This most confidential knowledge was imparted by Lord to Brahma, Arjuna, Uddhava, etc. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. So, Guhya means confidential. Guhyatara means more confidential. Guhyatamam is most confidential. Right? So, Manmanavava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vaishya satyam te pratijane priyo sime. Right? So, Krishna is saying, always remember me and become my devotee. Manmanavava mad bhakto madhyaji, worship me, mam namaskuru, offer your obeisances unto me. In this way, you will come back to me without fail. Right? There's confidential knowledge, there is more confidential knowledge, and there's most confidential knowledge. And similarly, there are various levels in realizing the Supreme Lord. Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam yajnanam advayam rameti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabhyate. right? Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan. First is understanding that the Lord's form is emanating such an effulgence, right? That is the Brahman. Paramatma is understanding that the Lord is in my heart and is guiding me. That is Paramatma. Bhagavan is to understand that the Lord is the supreme personality of Godhead, whom I have to serve. And the Lord has actually come in the form of Archa Vigraha in my own house, so that He may accept my service. And in this way, I can progress in devotional service. So to understand that the Lord is Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, is the highest realization of the transcendental truth, right? And also, Lord Krishna is saying, Prabhupada is also mentioning here, only a devotee can understand the Lord in true spirit, right? Bhaktyamama vijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvataha, right? Bhaktyamama vijanati, whether it is Brahma or Arjuna or Uddhava, they're all pure devotees of the Lord, right? Sometimes when there is no pure devotee, then Krishna himself assumes the role of Brahma. Brahma is a post, right? So somebody who perfects the life, Krishna personally guides and reveals himself to such a devotee. And Bhaktyamama vijanati, it is only to a pure devotee that the Lord will reveal himself. Yavan yaschasmi tattvataha, as I am, I will reveal myself only to a devotee of the Lord, right? Bhaktyamama vijanati, yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. So we should understand that to the extent we are surrendered to the Lord will reveal himself to us. We cannot think that by my own abilities I'll be able to understand the Supreme Lord. Right? What is that verse? Prakashante Mahatmanah. Right? I will reveal myself to those great devotees of the Lord who are engaged in my devotional service. Prakashante means to reveal. Right? So in that way, the Lord reveals himself to those who are surrendered to him. And the Lord chooses to cover himself by his Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya Samavrataha. Right? The Lord chooses to cover himself from those who are Mayavadis or who are trying to become the Lord themselves or who are impersonalist. Lord does not reveal himself to them. Right? That's why in Ishopanishad, there is a beautiful verse, 15th verse. What is that? What is that? Please remove this effulgence by which I can see you. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapitam mukam tattvam bhushanna bhavranno satya dharmaya drishtaye. I want to see your lotus face, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Please remove hiranmayena patrena satyasyapitam mukam, this effulgence, this covering your lotus face. Please remove that. I don't want to see the effulgence. I want to see your beautiful form as Sham Sundara, like that. Right? So a devotee always wants to see the Lord because a devotee understands that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his form, right? There is nothing in comparison to the supreme form of the Lord. Right? But Paramatma and Brahman are but lower realizations of that supreme absolute truth. Like that. Okay, let's move ahead. Text number 31. Who's reading? Okay, Karpavali Manaji. Yenevaham Bhagavato Vasudevasya Vedasah Maya Anubhavam Madidam Yena Gachanti Tatpadam. Yeah.
Excellent. Hare Krishna, am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, go ahead.
Yenevaham Bhagavata Vasudevasya Vedasa Maya Anubhavam Idam Ena Gachanti That Padam. Translation purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada KJ. Translation: by that confidential knowledge, I could understand clearly the influence of the energy of Lord Sri Krishna, the creator, the maintainer, and the annihilator of everything. By knowing that, one can return to him and personally meet him. To a purpose.
Can we read the synonyms, Mataji, please?
Yes, Mataji. By which able certainly I, Bhagavata, of the personality of Godhead, Vasudevasya, of Lord Sri Krishna, Vedasya, of the Supreme Creator, Maya, energy, Anubhavam, the influence, Avidam, easily, and which Gachanti, they go, Tat Padam, at the lotus feet of the Lord. Translation purport by Prabhupada Kiji. By that confidential knowledge, could understand clearly the influence of the energy of Lord Sri Krishna, the creator, engineer, and creator of everything. By knowing that, one can return to him and personally meet him. Devotional service, or by the most confidential knowledge, one can understand very easily how the different energies of the Lord are working. One part of the energy is manifesting the material world. The other superior part of this energy is manifesting the spiritual world. And the via medium energy is manifesting the living entities who are serving either of the above mentioned energies. The living entities serving material energy are struggling hard for existence and happiness, which is presented to them as illusion. But those in the spiritual energy are placed under the direct service of the Lord in eternal life, complete knowledge, and perpetual bliss. The Lord desires, as He has directly said in the Bhagavad Gita, that all conditioned souls trotting in the kingdom of the material energy come back to Him by giving up all engagements in the material world. This is the most confidential part of the knowledge, but this can be understood only by the pure devotees, and only such devotees enter the kingdom of God to see Him personally and serve Him personally. The concrete example is Narada himself, who attained this stage of eternal knowledge and eternal bliss. And the ways and means are open to all, provided one agrees to follow in the footsteps of Sri Narada Muni. According to Shruti, the Supreme Lord has unlimited energies without effort by him, and these are described under three principal headings as mentioned above, as above mentioned. Thank you, Mataji. Dandatnam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Dhanutanam. So, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshishami Ma Shuchah. This is the most confidential knowledge, right? That surrender everything, right? Surrender all varieties of religion and just simply surrender unto me, right? Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Exclusive surrender. Krishna is not happy. You know, if you approach the devatas for this thing, that thing, and we also worship the Supreme. No, Krishna does not like also worship, right? Krishna wants exclusive worship, right? So we have to simply depend on Krishna. If you want Krishna, yanti deva vrta devan, pitrin yanti pitrvrtah, bhutani yanti bhuteja, yanti madhyaji no piman. So Krishna is saying, if you worship the demigods, you'll go to the demigods. And that's not a very nice place to be in, because when you exhaust, right? What is that? Shine punye martyalokam vishanti. Right? When you exhaust your credits of your pious activities, then Shine Punye Martyalokam Mishanti, again you will fall down to this material world. So it is not a good place to go to the heavenly planets. So which is a good place to go? Right? The best place to go is to go back home, back to Godhead. Yad Gatvana Nivartante, Tad Dhamma Paramam Mama. You want to go back to that Supreme Personality of Godhead's abode, where having once gone, one will not come back to this material world. So we want to go back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead's abode. Right? We don't want to settle for anything else. And that is the intelligence of a devotee. And who gives that intelligence? Krishna gives intelligence. Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Krishna gives us intelligence. How does Krishna give intelligence to one? Does not give intelligence to another. Krishna gives intelligence to one according to the sincerity of purpose of the particular individual. If a jiva wants to serve the Lord, Krishna gives the intelligence how to serve the Lord. If a jiva wants to enjoy in this material world, Krishna gives a material intelligence by which one gets more and more entangled in the complexities of the material world. But if somebody wants to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna shows the path. Right? Brahmande, what is that? Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. It is by the mercy of Krishna that one gets a guru. It is according to the desire of the jiva to render service that Krishna makes one approach a spiritual master. Right? Just like Parikshit Maharaj was sitting at the banks of the Ganges. Who came there? Sukadeva Goswami came there. Right? Narada the boy, whose pastimes you are reading right now. Narada the boy, he was helped by the Bhakti Vedantists. Right? He was just walking in the north. And then who met him? Narada Muni met him. Right? And he told that walk towards the north, what you're doing is correct. And then he got the darshan of the Supreme Lord. And Narada Muni himself has helped. Dhruv Maharaj, who was walking, he wanted a kingdom greater than his own great grandfather. He was also walking to the north. And then who met him? Narada Muni met him. Narada Muni told him the process of devotional service. And Dhruv Maharaj also perfected his life. So much so that he got the desired kingdom. Right? He got the Dhruva Loka. But he said, I was asking for pieces of glass. But I got the divine darshan, the Supreme Lord, which is like a diamond. And I don't need broken pieces of glass anymore. Right? And Prahlad Maharaj was instructed by Narada Muni in the womb of Prahlad Maharaj's mother, Kayadu. And In this way, so all of us are rotting in this material world, but somehow or the other, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija, right? We are all Prakriti Sthani Karshati, right? Mamevamsho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana Manasastan Indriyani Prakriti Sthani Karshati. We are all struggling in this material world. Why are we struggling? Because we don't understand that I am the servant of the Lord. Jivera Swarupe Krishna Nitya Das. I don't understand that I am the servant of the Lord. And because of that, what am I trying to do? I am trying to enjoy with my senses, right? I'm trying to enjoy with my senses. And that is why I'm getting more and more frustrated. I'm not getting an enjoyment because this world is not meant for enjoyment. This world is for reformation. This world is for understanding our mistake and correcting our mistake. And how do we do that? By studying the scriptures, by being in the association of devotees, by serving the devotees. That is the reason we are able to understand what is the goal of life, right? And to be able to serve the Lord personally is such a high objective. And to be able to receive that by the causeless mercy of Guru and Gauranga is such a fortune. And what are we doing about the fortune that we have received? Are we watering the Bhakti Lata Bija, the seed of devotional service that we've got? Are we watering it by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mantra? Are we giving it adequate sunlight, right? By the association of devotees, are we giving a fertile soil for the Bhakti Lata to grow by avoiding anarthas? Are we cutting out the weeds by avoiding the anarthas? Right? All of this is required, right? And only when all of these are given in proportionate quantities can our Bhakti Lata can grow. Otherwise, we are wasting the opportunity of the human form of life. We are not utilizing the mercy that we've received from Guru and Gauranga. What an unfortunate situation that is, isn't it? So we get this knowledge of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the causeless mercy of Guru and all the devotees, for which we have to be grateful. Being grateful means practice it ourselves and also to give it to others. Janma sartak kari kara para upakar. Receive the mercy, practice Krishna consciousness with the best efforts, and give this knowledge to others. We please our gurus, and in this way, we will please Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and in this way, we will reawaken our love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, next verse. Etat samshuchitam brahmam tapatraya chikichitam yat ishvare bhagavati karma brahmani bhavitam. Okay, who's reading next? Sarva Gopishri Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes.
Etat, this much, samusitam, decided by the learned. Brahmana Vyasa, Brahman, Brahmana Vyasa, Tapatrayo, three kinds of miseries. Chikisitam, remedial measures. Yet what? Ishvare, the Supreme Controller, Bhagavati, unto the personality of Godhead. Karma, one's prescribed activities. Brahmani, unto the great. Bhavitam, dedicated. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada teacher. O Brahmana Vyasariva, it is decided that the learned that the best remedial measure for removing all troubles and miseries is to dedicate one's activity to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Purport. Sri Narada Muni personally experienced that the most feasible and practical way to open the path of salvation or get relief from all miseries of life is to hear submissively the transcendental activities of the Lord from the right and bona fide sources. This is the only remedial process. The entire material existence is full of miseries. Foolish people have manufactured out of their tiny brains many remedial measures for removing the threefold miseries pertaining to the body and mind, pertaining to the natural disturbance and in relation with the other living beings. The whole world is struggling very hard to exist out of these miseries. But men do not know that without the sanction of the Lord, no plan or no remedial measure can actually bring about the desired peace and tranquility. The remedial measure to cure a person by medical treatment is useless if it is not sanctioned by the Lord. To cross the river or the ocean by a suitable boat is no remedial measure if it is not sanctioned by the Lord. We should know for certain that the Lord is ultimate, sanctioning officer, and we must therefore dedicate our attempts to the mercy of the Lord for ultimate success or to get rid of the obstacles on the path of the success. The Lord is all pervading, all powerful, omniscient, omnipresent. He is the ultimate sanctioning agent of all good or bad effects. We should therefore learn to dedicate our activity unto the mercy of the Lord and accept Him either as impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It does not matter what one is. One must dedicate everything in the service of the Lord. If one is a learned scholar, scientist, philosopher, poet, etc., then he should employ his learning to establish the supremacy of the Lord. Try to study the energy of the Lord in every sphere of life. Do not decry him and try to become like him or to take his position simply by fragmental accumulation of knowledge. If one is an administrator, statesman, warrior, politician, etc., then one should try to establish the Lord's supremacy in the statesmanship. Fight for the cause of the Lord as Sri Arjuna did. In the beginning, Sri Arjuna, the great fighter, declined to fight, but when he was convinced by the Lord that the fighting was necessary, Sri Arjuna changed his decision and fought for his cause. Similarly, if one is a businessman, an industrialist, an agriculturist, etc., then one should spend his hard-earned money for the cause of the Lord. Think always that the money which is accumulated is the wealth of the Lord, wealth of the husband of Lakshmi. Try to engage Lakshmi in the service of the Lord Narayana and be happy. That is the way to realize the Lord in every sphere of life. The best thing is, after all, to get relief from all material activities and engage oneself completely in hearing of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. But in case the absence of such an opportunity, one should try to engage in the service of the Lord, everything for which one has a specific attraction, and that is the way of peace and prosperity. The word samositam in this stanza is also significant. One should not think for a moment that the realization of Narada was a childish imagination only. It is not like that. It is so realized by the expert and erudite scholars. And that is the real import of the word samositam. Hare Krishna. Dandavata.
Oh, sorry. I was on mute. Sorry. So the carpenter is here, so he's doing some work. So he's just waiting for me to complete the class. So I was just muting myself in between. So, so I was just saying, samshutitam, that means what? Whatever we like, we want to do it for the pleasure of the Lord, right? The Prabhupada mentioned here. If one is very intelligent, right, one can study the scriptures nicely and one can help others understand the scriptures, right, to understand the purport in the right way. If one is a very good dancer, one can dance for the pleasure of the Lord. If one is a good in singing, one can sing for the pleasure of the Lord. So susukam kartum avyayam. In the initial stages, we can do what we like, and we simply dedicate that for the pleasure of the Lord. Until we reach a particular stage, we want to do everything for the pleasure of the Lord only. We don't want to seek any independent pleasure. But in the initial stages, right, according to our propensity, according to our abilities, according to our resources, we can engage in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And Prabhupada always talks about how people do Lakshmi Puja, right? If you worship Lakshmi, then Lakshmi is another name is Chanchala, right? And Arjuna compares Chanchala to Chanchala means Mana Krishna, right? We know how our mind wanders, isn't it? There are 1,000 million thoughts that come to our mind every second. So Lakshmi Devi is like that. She will not stay in one place for a long time. She will continuously keep moving. But what is the way in which we control the mind? We control the mind by engaging it in remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, Lakshmi Devi also stays in a place where her husband, Narayan, where Krishna is worshipped eternally, right? Because Lakshmi Devi never leaves the heart of Krishna, the heart of Lord Vishnu. Lakshmi Devi never leaves the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. So if you are eternally engaging in the service of Lord Vishnu, then Lakshmi Devi may stay. And we also, by the process of devotional service, we also want to engage Lakshmi in the service of Narayan. We want to utilize all the wealth that we have for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? And we should understand that this is real. If we perform devotional service, if we engage everything in the service of the Lord, then the Lord will give us the intelligence, the knowledge, the wisdom by which we conduct our life in such a way that at the end of the life we remember the Lord and we go back home, back to Godhead. This is some Shuchitam. This is true. This is the real import. That means we need to believe, we need to have faith, right? By investing faith, we will get faith. That's why we start with Shraddha. At a particular point, we get Nishtha. Come what may, I will not stop chanting Hare Krishna. So we want to go ahead even from the Nishtha stage to the stage of Prema, to the stage of Bhava and Prema, right? Because we know that at the level of Prema, we are not performing Bhakti because we have promised our Gurus. We are not performing Bhakti as a matter of duty. We are performing Bhakti at a Raga Anuga platform, right? Simply because we want to render service. We want to render service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why we are performing devotional service. So we want to reach that stage of Raga Anuga Bhakti, following in the footsteps of our Acharyas. And that is the goal of life. And if we do that, Krishna will ensure whether, we see devotees are dying, with COVID or some coma or some accident. Doesn't matter how a person dies. Krishna says, if you remember me throughout your life, I will ensure that you remember me at the time of death. And we rely on Krishna, we surrender to Krishna. And we simply follow do our duty. Karmanevadikaraste, ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phala heturbur, ma te sangostva karmani. Let us not even desire Krishna prema. Wherever we are, whatever situation we are placed in, we simply want to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So thank you very much. Here we end our session. We'll quickly chant Harinam Sankirtan for 2-3 minutes and then we'll end our session. Krishna Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tina Saraswate Gauravani Prachapine Nirvisesha Sundravadi Askata Deshadharine Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Priya Dvaita Radha Sriya Radha Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवा वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Thank you very much for your kind and patient hearing. We'll meet tomorrow morning 4:30 a.m. For our Brahmurta chanting session, and then we'll meet at 11 o'clock. Yes, Karpavali Mataji is asking, is it going to be advanced with 15 minutes? Yes. So from tomorrow onwards, we will meet at 11 o'clock Indian Standard Time for Srimad Bhagavatam study session. And tomorrow we will have the verse recitation. I believe Anusha Mataji was supposed to narrate the verse. So we will do it tomorrow at 11 o'clock, where the explanation of the verse will happen, and then we will study the verse for this week tomorrow. So please note, and we'll meet at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Right? So thank you very much. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Sri Gurudev ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Dandavat pranams to all. Hare Krishna. Oh, I can see Radha Vallabhi Mataji and Madhu Manjari Mataji joined us the first time. Otherwise, I'm seeing our regular devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Mataji, this is Mansi Mataji. You know me, right? But my name got changed to Madhu Manjari because I got initiation. But otherwise, I'm Mansi Mataji.
Oh,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
where did you
Please
get
be
initiated?
merciful, Mataji. And yes, Mataji. And if you can possibly give any piksha, the number is the same 9820616399. Bhavati Bhikshandi.
Yes, you have my number, right?
I have your number. Yes, yes, Mataji, of course.
Message on WhatsApp. Radha Vallabhi Mataji, have you also joined for the first time?
I joined first time, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam. Beautiful class. I will ensure at least I can join some of your classes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for joining in, and I'd like to see you also, if possible. Otherwise, it's okay. You can also send me a message. This is my number. I'll just ping my number here, 9819162228. I put it on the chat box. 9819162228. Yeah, please ping me, Mataji. Okay. All right.
Okay, Mataji.
Mataji, okay. I was just typing
Mataji, once I had read the shlokas and the translation, so I thought that you had recognized my voice. That time we didn't ask. So today you asked.
Okay, so yeah, thank you for joining in, and please do write to me. I'll be happy to hear
Thank you,
from.
Mataji.
And then our regular devotees are always there. Chitra Krishna Sevni Mataji joined after a long time. Thank you. Karpavali Mataji, Srimati Shamapriya Mataji, Varshobha Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, Rajeshwari Raji Mataji, Amrit Mai, Gopika Mataji, and our Subharao Prabhu, Nagaveni Mataji, Deval Mataji, and devotees, other devotees are all regular. My sincere gratitude to all of you. Because of all of you, we are now in the 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you very much for joining in regularly. And I'd like to special thanks to Radha Vallabhi Mataji and Madhu Manjari Mataji. Please write to me on WhatsApp. We'll connect. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Nand Koji Vaishnavind ki jai. Jai Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.